Welcome back to the show. Now, my next guest has quite a peculiar job, believe it or not. She is Ireland's first funeral planner. She also owns 2 businesses where she creates memorial jewellery for past loved ones and your pets. She's here today to talk to us about all things, well, morbid. We welcome Jennifer Muldowney to the show. It's like every time you're back in the country, we have you in, because you are based in New York most of the time.
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
So much we need to talk to you about, but will we start on the jewellery side of things?
Yeah, sure.
Or actually, sorry, no, you brought a new book out recently. I'm getting carried away with myself. You brought a new book out recently called Say Farewell Your Way, a funeral planning, sorry, it's out for a little while, a funeral planning guide
for Ireland. Yes.
Why do we need this in Ireland?
So, well, it's actually out 4 or 5 years now, and actually I need to update it, because one thing we definitely need to talk about these days is the digital side of things.
Right.
And one chapter that I'm just going to have to, I think, release as an ebook, because it just changes, as we all know. The digital space just changes constantly, and people don't think about that in terms of their death. Now, I'm not asking all the watchers to start thinking about their death or anything like that, but something we do need to start considering is our digital estate.
So will you explain digital estate for those of us scratching our heads?
Yeah,
like,
sure. So your Facebook, your Instagram, your iTunes, your Netflix account, every single thing you do online leaves a footprint and has a consequence. When you pop your clogs, there's going to be some of you left online. So you've got digital thieves, you know, people who can go online after you've died. The law is going to take eons to catch up with this, and we just need to actively make something happen in terms of what we're going to do about it before we die.
So you're saying it could be a case that after you've passed away, somebody goes on, hacks your account, takes all your pictures,
it's
your
happening
information.
when we're alive, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I suppose, identity theft. Pretends to be you, maybe plays the system. So, like, if you're dead, do you really care?
So I do get a lot of that, obviously, in what I do. And I mean, I'm only 36, and a lot of people I talk to are around my age, and they're kind of like, oh, for God's sake, Jen, you know, when I'm dead, who cares? But at the end of the day, you may not care, but maybe if you actually think about it now, you do care, because what I find when I drill down into conversations with people is they do care. Do you want to be buried or cremated is what I follow up with. And they're like, well, actually. And I'm like, so you do care. There is a thought process. We just don't like to think about it, which I get. But things like, you know, your Netflix account, maybe your Starbucks account, all these things, if you don't do something about that while you're alive, those are going to keep ebbing away at your financial assets after you're gone. I was actually on a radio show there last week, and the presenter mentioned something about your dodgy messages to maybe an ex. You know, do you really want your spouse to find that out after you've passed away? So there's a lot to think about that we won't get through today. I have written a blog on things to do on the basics, so your Snapchat, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitter accounts. Most of them you require a death certificate, but even just as a fun fact, 8,000 Facebook users die a day.
Oh, that's cheery.
Think about that. No, yeah, but think about
I get it. That's
think about that.
Potential...
8,000 accounts every day. So apparently in the next 100 years, there's going to be 850 million deceased members on Facebook. So, what am I going to say? People asked, 7 out of 10 people would not like their Facebook account to be active. Even just talking to some of the girls before the show, they were saying how tragic it is when they log on online. And I know this was one of my early experiences, actually, before I wrote the book and got into the business, was getting a wish this person a happy birthday or say hi to this person you haven't in a while. Well, I can't because they're dead. Thanks, Facebook.
So assuming
you know,
that,
it's
let's
heartbreaking.
say if I have died and my Facebook has, of course, password on it and probably 2-step verification and everything, so I might be a tiny bit paranoid. What can the loved one in my life do to make sure they don't get the reminder every February 5th, by the way, to wish me a happy birthday?
So what you can do is you can, with Facebook, and they're actually great. They're I'm actually chairing a conference back in New York this Saturday, and they're going to be speaking at it on digital legacy. So they're really doing stuff about these things. What you can do is you can nominate a legacy contact, it's called. So whether it's your spouse, your mother, your sister, brother, whoever you decide you want it to be. Gmail are the same. They have an inactive account manager. So say I've nominated my mum. So if I'm not active on my Gmail after 6 months, they'll send a notification to my email address. If they still haven't gotten any word back from me saying, yep, I'm still alive, then she gets access.
And does this happen every, let's say, Gmail account, if you leave it inactive for 6 months?
You have to nominate, you have to sort of click the on button. It's a bit like your Find My iPhone. You know, you have to
and you can probably Google how
nominate
to
it.
do that simply
Yeah,
enough.
and I have I've written all about this on my blog, and that's what I'm saying. I think I need to do maybe some YouTube tutorials, or it's because I've only just started looking into it, but it was like I scratched a bit and went, whoa, this is actually huge, especially with the, as I said, like 36, I only got to know how to work Snapchat there like last year. It's just changing every 2 minutes, and I'm like, I can't keep up, and I have a digital comms like diploma, and if I can't keep up, who can?
I did hear a kind of a lovely, heartening story, sad at the same time. There was an Irish woman, and her son died while he was in Australia, but before he went away, she had said to him, look, to give me peace of mind, I want you to give me your passwords, so that if anything happens, I can at least go into the accounts, see if there was anything untoward. And he did unfortunately pass away while he was away, and she was able to go into his email account and just read his emails that he had sent to mates going, oh, I'm having a great time here. And she said it provided great sort of comfort to her. Now, it mightn't be for everyone to have somebody reading your emails, but somebody, I suppose, to clean up the footprint, as you say.
Well, even just to leave this, if you think about even 10, 20 years ago, me and my friends were just talking about this at the weekend, when I went to the Gaeltacht, we used to send each other letters back and forth, and I still have a box of those letters. And when you think about when somebody, especially a child, passes away abroad, a lot of military, obviously I'm in the States a lot, so that's a big thing, but they have boxes and boxes of letters, and they can go over them, and it's a lovely, you know, moment, and they can reread them when they're feeling low, and we don't have that anymore. So what replaces that? You know,
is there a way to create maybe a sort of a, would I say, a spreadsheet where you can put a few things in to keep? Is that a sort of
what I recommend is, and not to be promoting my own book, but what I recommend is either going out, buying the book, or going at least onto my website, celtic-ashes.com, where you can download the appendices, and just, if you do one thing, it's just do an inventory of all the accounts that you have and the passwords that you have.
Terrifying, can I tell you? I have about 2 A4 pages at home with passwords written on them for everything, from anything I've ever bought online.
Yeah.
So much.
That's exactly it. It's insane. And when you think of when you pass away, your family have to deal with all of that. Closing accounts, they don't even know half of the...
Now, I know on your page as well, you sell the jewellery.
Yes.
This is for loved pets.
It's for pets and for humans. And actually, interestingly, that you were talking about the super vet just previous. I literally just flew in last night from the UK, where I was at a pet expo, the Discover Dogs. So, such a great weekend, like literally just surrounded by dogs. There was a stampede of Labradors at one point, and I was just like, this is the best ever. So there is that lovely side of what I do.
Did you get to meet him and work with him a bit?
No, well, so I was, I actually laugh at these. It's even when I come on these shows, I was exhibiting and people come, and there's my pet side of my business is called Rainbow Bridge Memorials, and every pet owner knows what Rainbow Bridge is. If people don't Google it, it's
where the pets go to pet heaven. Oh.
And literally, no joke, I'm standing at my exhibition, and people will come along, and then they're like, oh, and they literally do. They make a beeline away, and I'm like, okay, bye.
There is that reaction,
but it's
to death as well. In
I had people coming in and crying and stuff, but then you've the other people who come in and really want to talk about it, and then you've got the people who've bought my pieces and are like, thank you so much. I mean, my Insta stories and everything. It's just, I get so many wonderful people that this helps them.
And I know that we said at the beginning, the word might be macabre, it might be a little bit morbid, but in fact, it can be quite uplifting, because I know you've planned your own funeral, even though you're hale and hearty, in the full of your health.
Touch wood.
36, as you said. What have you planned for your funeral?
So,
it sounds really weird. I'm really weird asking the question.
No, it's totally fine. Well used to it. I'll give you a few key points, because you don't want to give the whole game away now, Ruth. You know, I mean, we've got to keep something.
I make chicken ideas.
I know. Put it this way. It's Raining Men is going to be played at it, probably at the end. And it'll be the RuPaul Martha Wash version. And I know that will make all my friends bawl crying, but also roar laughing, because it's how I've lived my life. It's Raining Men. I mean, why not? Maybe we'll have some strippers, so I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. We'll see. There's a cocktail I invented called the Lemon Downy. That's going to be served at it, which is delicious. I want only calla lilies at it. I want, instead of flowers, I want people to donate to charity, because I feel like they're an awful waste at funerals. I won't have it in a church, even though I am Catholic, because I believe I'm Catholic. I'm Jennifer, who's Catholic, not a Catholic who's Jennifer. I feel like I want more of my personality. I want more reading, more music, less... mass.
And is this the kind of thing you can leave in a living will?
So I've detailed it all down. I think ahead.ie actually is a government initiative here, which is fantastic. They have an end of life forum every, I think, 2 years. There's going to be one in 2019. They do really, really good with that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming in. She's literally chasing away to catch a plane back to the States. Time for a quick break now, but when we come back, what have you got planned for Halloween? Our novel traveller is here with some fantastic ideas. We'll see you in 3.